It's 2023 at the NHL draft. Anaheim wants Connor Bedard bad. They had the best odds, but the lottery dropped them to second overall. Oh, okay. They'll take college phenom Adam Fantilli, the best college prospect since Jack Eichel 8 years ago.
Select from Orebro, SHL, Leo Carlson.
Who's Leo Carlson? Leo Carlson is the number one center on the Anaheim Ducks, a team that's surprising everyone right now. There's a lot of ways you can try to explain Anaheim's dominance right now, but really there's one guy who should be getting the brunt of the attention. A 6'3", 208-pound Swedish center who's on pace for over 120 points as of mid-November. And what's so crazy about this guy is that leading up to this season, his career high was only 45 points. There was even a growing sentiment that maybe this guy should not have gone second overall. So what's changed? Well, for one, a new coach that prioritizes holding on to the puck through the neutral zone while really focusing on creating these high skill rush chances instead of the previous coach who emphasized and prioritized the Anaheim Ducks playing like shit is a major bonus for Leo Carlson. Leading into the NHL, what every scout loved about this guy's game was his hockey sense, stick handling, and his playmaking. So the last 2 seasons, having a defense-first coach that managed to ice the worst defensive club in the league just wouldn't be the best fit for Leo Carlson. Year number 3 is here. One of the best coaches in NHL history is at the helm in Anaheim, and Leo's hockey sense, stick handling, and playmaking are the real deal. These traits all combine into making Leo Carlson one of the best puck handlers in the sport. That elite hockey sense that triggers on a dime makes him exceptionally good at reading other players and forcing them to make a decision. A decision that Leo usually wants and a decision that Leo can usually take advantage of. Arturi Lehkonen, one of the best defensive forwards in the sport, is forced to skate forwards to try to keep up with Leo after a tidy little slip pass in the neutral zone. Oops, attack the feet, dangle through a phone booth, retain possession. If you can find Carlson with speed, this guy actually has 99 puck control. Bat the puck out of the air on your backhand straight to the tape. Be serious, Leo, that's marked. I say with speed, he gets up to speed a lot throughout the game, but his top end speed isn't necessarily elite by any means. It's still pretty good. You could call him 75th percentile NHL skater, which is pretty good at 20 years old, because remember, this guy is only 20 years old. So much poise in his game, and yet so much control of the damn puck. You gotta have nifty hands to retain possession the way Carlson does, and yeah, he's probably not Trevor Zegras, sorry Ducks fans, but he's 4th in the NHL in successful dekes per game. Think of him as Shea Gilgeous-Alexander instead of Kyrie Irving or something. He's gonna make 1 or 2 controlled moves instead of trying something crazy every time he gets the ball. Most of these dekes are in the neutral zone or trying to beat a single man, but he's really not turning the puck over in these moments. Like, he doesn't turn the puck over at all, actually. Despite being the number 1 center and number 1 puck carrier in Anaheim, Carlson sits 337th in the NHL in giveaways per 60. That's around the level of Carter Verhaeghe or Philippe Danault. You don't see high-flying offensive centers around this level ever. For reference, Jack Hughes and Jack Eichel have nearly triple the rate of Carlson. Kucherov has doubled the rate. If you handle the puck a lot, you're given leeway to try difficult moves and to force a play that could easily result in a giveaway. Carlson, however, despite playing a similar game to Eichel and Hughes, turns the puck over at the rate of a Selke nominee. Leo has 99 overall puck control, and it's such a fun skill to watch. Sam Reinhart has this skill, Sidney Crosby has it, Leo Carlson has it. Against Colorado, you can really get a feel for how this puck control creates opportunities for Anaheim. Carlson collects the puck with speed from his own end. McKinnon is hoping to angle him towards the boards, but Carlson's surprising acceleration kind of catches McKinnon off guard. Makar and McKinnon don't leave much of a gap, but a wide stance and the wherewithal to put the puck a little bit ahead of where you're landing lets Carlson retain the puck. Grab the zone entry, drop it for Terry, certified big head dog, who makes McKinnon feel like McQuinn Hughes. Anaheim gets to show off how sick they are. Jackson Lacombe, how do you do? Wow, this team is sick. Leo's puck control is among the best in the league, and it's why he's 10th in the NHL in even strength stick handling zone entries per game. There's very few players around the league that are entering the zone with control the way Leo is. If you're looking for a number 1 center who can control the puck with speed, rarely turn it over, and make a play under pressure, you got a short list of probably 10 names in the league right now, but Leo Carlson is one of those names. And hey, unless you think Pettersson is about to start flying the next couple months, Leo Carlson is probably Team Sweden's number 1 center at the Olympics, despite being 20 years old. I'm serious. I don't actually think you need any convincing of that right now, to be fair. He's on pace for over 120 points while playing on one of the top teams in the Pacific Division, and his defensive game isn't really that bad. Sometimes, though, okay, you look at this 20-year-old guy, second in the league in points, big frame, sky's the limit for his potential, and you think, this guy's top 10 in the league, right? Okay, I mean, I don't know if it's really his fault, really, or anything. I'm not going to blame anyone here, but it's important to kind of look at the full story of what this team is and why they're playing this well. Anaheim is the worst 5v5 defensive team in hockey. I'm sorry for even bringing it up. They jet their defensemen up into the rush anytime they break out of the zone. When Washington does it with their fast defensemen and heavy forechecking game, it can lead to sustainable offense. When Anaheim does it with their smaller defensemen and some guys who are maybe not as good at forechecking, it creates a lot of chances the other way. Okay? And if Anaheim wants to win a playoff series this year, this is going to have to tighten like ASAP. But if Anaheim doesn't care about making the playoffs, and they just want to have the most fun hockey game possible, then they should not change anything. Because Anaheim has not actually had that much fun playing hockey recently. Last year, Anaheim was absolutely brutal on the rush. 29th in the league in shots off the rush while prioritizing working the puck in deep and working the cycle down low. It's not the worst idea if you're the Anaheim Florida Panthers, but if your crop of young elite talent has legs under them and they all grew up on Pavel Barber Zorro compilations, it's just, why would you not think to make this a rush style team? And well, they are now. Cheers, Q. A big part of that is Leo Carlson, currently second in the NHL in rush shots per game via all three zones data. If you count only the dual threats, aka you don't count rush specialist Victor Arvidsson, who has 3 times as many shots off the rush versus cycle. Guy hates working the boards, I guess. Take him off, and Leo is first in rush shots per game, barely ahead of names like Leon Draisaitl, Nathan McKinnon, Jack Hughes, Connor Bedard, Connor McDavid. Among all the dual threats in hockey, Carlson shoots off the rush the most. It's time to get scared when you see the Ducks loading up through the neutral zone. And a big part of why Leo is peppering these goalies off the rush is his quick release shot. He's pulling a bit of a sneaky Leon Draisaitl here too. Wide base with the skates where you can pass, shut off defenders, or release a quick shot off the rush. Coaches don't love when you sit on your inside edges, makes it hard to change directions quickly, makes you an easier target to knock down, but if you're big enough and you have strong balance on your skates, you're probably not going to get knocked down along the boards, and you've mastered when and where to kind of sit on your inside edges, then you can create this triple threat position that really there isn't much other teams can do. It's what Leon Draisaitl does, and it's how he's made so many plays at the NHL level. You'll also notice that Carlson loves keeping the puck on the toe of his stick. It's easy to pass out of, and it's also easy to shoot very quickly. After all, you don't have to start on the heel of the blade. But if you want to do this, you got to be pretty strong, or at least you got to have a good understanding of stick flexion the way Leo Carlson does. We all went through this like 7 years ago when 18 BMI Elias Pettersson came in the league and ripped 100-mile-per-hour shots on the regular. Is he on crack? Nope. It's called a composite stick. It's a mix of carbon fiber, some epoxy resin, and or boron fiber. I don't really know what all of this is, but the point is that these sticks aren't made out of wood anymore. They're made to bend on the ice and to whip the puck as fast as a felony driving speed. The thing is, Leo Carlson weighs about 40 pounds more than Elias Pettersson did at the same height. He doesn't need to drop his entire body weight into the stick to make it flex. Carlson can whip it a lot quicker with a lot more of a subtle movement. That's why he's shooting so much off the rush. It's just an effective play to make. That's why he's second in the NHL in shots off the rush. That quick movement makes it such an effective play when you're moving in with speed and you're carrying the puck. Carlson's on pace for over 50 goals right now. I think it's entirely possible he hits it at some point in his career. Maybe not this season. He's not shooting enough in general, and you're probably not getting 50 nips off the rush. That just seems like a really impressive thing to do that's probably not happening anytime soon. But Leo is a very, very scary hockey player, even when he's not working the rush, because his forechecking game is actually pretty strong. Per game at even strength, he's 13th in the NHL in offensive zone puck battles, which makes him 8th in the NHL in puck retrievals after shots, continuing the offensive pressure and grinding teams down in the offensive zone. But part of that is actually the result of a super modern offensive system, or well, last five years is really when it started to take over. Under new head coach Joel Quenneville, Anaheim's offensive zone game has seen a major makeover. At even strength, the Ducks are 7th in offensive zone puck retrievals this season versus 25th in the NHL last season. This is a result of Anaheim's change from a 2-1-2 system towards a 2-3 system, taking advantage of Anaheim's high-end offensive skill. Really, the difference between these two systems comes down to where and when you start with the puck. In a 2-1-2, a lot of the offense comes from plays in tight around the net, looking for a shot from the slot or looking for a defenseman. In the 2-3 system, the offense comes from creating advantageous opportunities up high in the zone. And really, this all makes sense. When you have Lacombe, Zellweger, Mintyukov, these mobile offensive defensemen, you want to involve them as much as possible in offensive situations.
And we're going to make you great. You're going to make us great.
Another major advantage of playing the 2-3 system is that the way that you are heading downhill means you are more likely to be first to the puck in the corners. Makes it a lot easier to retrieve the pucks and kind of start over again. You can really pepper a team in this, and that's how Tampa Bay won 2 cups. The teams that are going to counter this the best are defensive structures that can do well to stick with Carlson through the neutral zone, and aggressive defenses that don't let Anaheim find the looks they want. Detroit the other night probably had the best performance against Anaheim's top line of anyone in the league this season, and it came from exactly that. They kept most of those dangerous load up through the neutral zone opportunities from even entering their zone, but when Anaheim did break in, Detroit overloaded on loose pucks and they forced it out of the zone before Anaheim could adapt. Detroit played this game nearly perfectly, and yet Carlson still found his looks. Because in hockey, an elite puck handler can create gaps in even the best defensive structures, and in hockey, Leo Carlson is an elite puck handler. There isn't much more to say about this guy. He is legit. He's going to play big minutes for Team Sweden at the Olympics in February, and if you're not already tuned in to how sick he is, I get it, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time puck drops, you got to walk the dogs at 5 a.m. because your girl's mad at you for not doing it after work. I get it, we've all been there. You need to watch Leo Carlson at least once this season. I am begging you.
My number one favorite player to watch right now, and I hate how he plays in the time zone he does because I can't watch as much of him, is Leo Carlson.
The next generation of speed and skill has hit the NHL, and it's only a matter of time before these dominant regular season performances turn into dominant playoff performances, turn into Stanley Cups. Leo Carlson has finally arrived. I hope you're ready for the face of Swedish hockey to change hands in Anaheim. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.